Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with Joyride. This is a donation reward for Sweet Venom, and I don't know anything about this movie. I don't think I've ever heard of it, but apparently there's multiple of them. I don't know who's in it. I assume based on the title it has to do with cars. Taking a car on a joyride usually implies the car is not yours. So I assume it's probably going to involve some level of criminal activity, maybe, and possibly some wild shenanigans involving a car or maybe multiple cars. So that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge. But I have spent almost an hour now trying to get this working. The thing with doing these recordings, these reactions, is, as I've stated in the past, I download the episodes because it makes it easier. Because if you try to watch it through any online player, you can deal with buffering issues, you can deal with a lot of different stuff like that. And that obviously hurts reactions. And I mean, there's been various things on this channel that you could use as an example for that. But because of that, I try to download when I can. I only watch on the websites if I absolutely have to, for whatever reason. And I almost had to do that with this, because I downloaded the movie. And I went to get it up, I went to bring it up, and it wouldn't come up on VLC. Other videos would come up, other stuff that I recorded on the same day, on today, even though you're seeing this Sunday, but still. Other stuff, I'm recording this Friday, just as an example. The other stuff I recorded today came up. Other stuff in general came up. This would not. I tried downloading it again. Still had the same issue. And at this point, like, my Explorer window was also freezing and everything. I have no idea what the fuck was going on. I tried downloading one more time. I'm thinking, like, maybe something happened during the download. So I tried downloading one more time. I don't know why something happening during the download would affect things, but... with freezing my windows or whatnot, but I tried one more time, and it's working. I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck was going on. The only thing I can think of is because I've been, like, pushing back repeatedly the recent Windows 10 updates, because to do the update, you basically have to restart your entire computer, and it's like, that means I have to close everything down, and that's just a hassle. It's like, I don't like doing that. But the problem is, because even though you can push back the time and, like, choose, oh, I'm gonna push back the update until this day. You could choose the day that you push it back to, and you can keep doing that indefinitely. But Windows actively slows down and messes with your computer if you do this. And this has been a thing ever since I've gotten Windows 10. It didn't do this on previous versions. But with Windows 10 specifically, and probably 11, it does this. If you refuse updates for long enough, your computer will slow down. And it's nothing you're doing. It's literally the update. Because after you update, it goes back to normal. And usually I don't put them off too much. Usually I'll put them off like maybe a week. But I've been putting this off for like a while now. And again, the reason is just because I don't want to have to close everything down and bring it all back up. It's just a hassle, you know? So, because of this, though, it's not only just slowing down my computer and everything, it's also, apparently, if this is the cause, causing some other issues as well. So, apparently, I'm going to have to be forced to do this. It's gonna suck, but because it's not like I have a lot open on my browser. It's mostly just like Word documents and stuff. I have a bunch of those usually open at a time, like for my scheduling and everything, and for various other things. It's just, and Word documents don't take up a lot of CPU, so I'm not worried about that. But it's like still, I have to I have to save them, close them all down, and then when I'm done rebooting, I have to open them all back up. It's just like it's so much, plus all the other stuff as well, and it's just, ugh, it's a lot to deal with. I know, it seems like a stupid problem, but it's just, it's just so much effort. Let me be lazy. I hate that they force the constant updates on you. I really hate that they force it, and then they actively punish you if you don't do it right away. It's stupid. It's really fucking stupid. Especially since most of the updates, I can guarantee you, don't really do much of anything. Like, you could never get any. You could probably be working on a Windows 10 that never updated since it was introduced, and you'd probably be fine. Because the updates don't really do that much of anything that really matters. But anyway, yeah, Joyride. Sorry for that little bit of a rant there. I don't know what to expect really with this movie. Like I said, it's not too long, so if it is an action movie, it's just a shorter one. Um, I guess we'll see. I spent so much time on this. We're getting to it. I'm doing this damn thing. Spent so much time trying to get this damn thing up. Now that it's up, let's get to it. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, a couple things to note about this. First off, the sheriff that was in this earlier on in the film, you know, when they first got arrested and, you know, were pled guilty and revealed to the sheriff all that had happened. The sheriff with the big mustache. That was Jim Beaver, a.k.a. Bobby from Supernatural. He's also in The Boys and various other things. I did not even realize that was him. Like, I didn't even, like, connect that at all. But, like, I look back at it and it's like, oh yeah, that's definitely him. I think it's the fact that he kind of looked a little different maybe because he has the white mustache, just the mustache instead of like all facial hair. And his hair is like really thinning and all. I just did not put that together at all. But what I did put together was that voice was indeed Ted Levine. That was Ted Levine. I think did I get his name wrong while recording? I got Levine right. I'm gonna have to look back on that. I think I got his name slightly wrong, but either way, that was him. Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, Stottlemyre from Monk. That was definitely him. He did the voice, but he didn't do the physical performance. The physical performance apparently was Matthew Kimbrell. So that's interesting, I guess. And yeah, both of them went uncredited, and that's really weird that was the case. I really have no idea why, because like a major character, like the main villain of the movie. So that's really weird. But yeah, it's interesting nonetheless. And actually, I want to check something real quick. Just real quick. I turned off the volume capture so you won't be able to hear what I'm hearing, but I am curious about what I did say during the reaction. If I can get this to come up, I'll check it. If it doesn't come up soon, we'll just ignore it. But yeah, it's like I feel like I might have said something other than like Ted for his first name or something. I might have got his name slightly off. Okay, it's not coming up. I'm not gonna fight this right now. But yeah, so that was pretty interesting. It was a very tense movie, and it did start like the starting portions of it were honestly a little boring. If I'm being completely fair. But then once it really started to kick off, it really did, and it became like a very pulse pounding, intense thrill ride. Um, I wouldn't really use Joyride to describe anything in this movie, though. I feel like that's a little bit misleading as a title. I wouldn't really call what they did as a joyride or anything. But maybe that's just me. But yeah, Ted Levine did great being menacing as the voice and everything of Rusty Nails. Um, both of our leads did a great job being believable in terms of both their jokey, goofy sides, but also their scared shitless side. Our main actress did a great job as well. Let me see if I can get the name here. Give me just a second. Lily Sobieski. She did a great job. Like, everyone really did well. It was a really good set of performances. It wasn't like the best movie I've ever seen. I wouldn't like rank it super high or anything, but I did enjoy it for what it was. Um, and the ending leaves it open for sequels because obviously that wasn't him who was in the truck. Somehow it was the ice truck guy. I don't know how he got a hold of him as well, but he somehow did. And so, yeah, he was the victim instead. So I assume the sequels are going to touch on this same storyline, just following afterwards. I have no idea if the sequels are with the same actors. I could check. Apparently, the sequels are direct to video. Let me see here. I'm not going to look up spoilers or anything. Okay, I'm not even seeing the same names for characters and stuff or actors, so I guess not. At least for number 2. Let me check number 3. No. That it looks like not. So in that way, I guess then the first movie is kind of left on a cliffhanger, and that's never resolved, which is really disappointing if I'm being honest. But apparently, there were alternate endings. There's a 29-minute long alternate ending and 4 other shorter ones, according to this. The main one, the 29-minute one, featured Rusty Nail's shotgun suicide, apparently, and numerous bodies are found by the police in his trailer. One of the shorter ones featured Rusty Nail being arrested, another having him being beaten in a fight with both of the brothers, and another where he's blown up in his truck. The final one shows him run over by his own truck. Okay. And the ending featured in the theatrical cut is the only ending in which he lives, which is the one we saw here. There are also deleted scenes. So it's interesting in that regard. So yeah, It seems like it was just never touched on again. I don't know why the sequels went with completely new characters. It looked like the character of Rusty Nail is in the sequels. I didn't see the Ted Levine's name there or Matthew Kimbrough, so maybe it's a different actor portraying him. But yeah, just the fact that he survives in the end and that like there's no resolution to it is a little disappointing. Like if a sequel, maybe one of the sequels, maybe it'll at least mention if something happened. Um, but apparently, according to Rotten Tomatoes, as always, take this with a grain of salt. But apparently, the film has a rating of 74% with an average of 6.61 out of 10. The consensus states a well-constructed B-movie thriller, Joyride keeps up the necessary level of tension and chills. And I would actually agree with that on this one. I would agree with the specific rating as well, the placement of it. Now I want to check something here real quick. Okay, so this movie came out the same year as the first Fast and Furious. Both of them came out in 2001. Obviously, Fast and Furious was the bigger movie. This was a much smaller one, despite being written by J.J. Abrams and everything. And produced by him as well. But yeah, it's interesting that this was like just right around that same time and all. I don't know. Let me check to see if it was one of his earliest roles. I'm kind of curious about that now. Because he was young in this. He was really young. He actually had quite a few roles before this. Fast and Furious is technically listed beforehand, so I'm wondering if that movie just released first. But he still had... He was in She's All That, apparently. I guess. Never seen that, but... and just a few other, like, smaller things, I guess. Nothing I've ever heard of. His first movie was in 1986, actually. Monster in the Closet. But he was in something called Pleasantville. He was in Meet the Deedles. Tammy and the T-Rex. Varsity Blues. A lot of stuff I've never heard of. The Skulls. Fast and the Furious is probably what really kickstarted his career. And everything. Yeah, because you can see, like, those were always his big roles. He also had Takers from 2010. I remember that one. I never saw it, but I remember, hearing about it and everything. He wasn't actually in a lot that I've actually seen outside of the Fast and Furious movies. In fact, I don't think there's been anything else besides this one. Let's check TV. I mean, stuff I've heard of, but again, nothing I've really seen. So yeah, it's like, I actually haven't seen Paul Walker in a lot, apparently. That actually surprises me. But like I said, this movie was good. I enjoyed it. It was a good thriller. I liked Ted Levine's voice. Hearing that was pretty fun, and recognizing that was pretty fun. But yeah, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of Joyride? Let me know down below, and for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.